Quizzical, Chapter 2, Meet the Fillies. The rollers on Quiz's dressing table drawer were stiff and produced a loud squeak every time the drawer was opened and closed. For some reason, Quiz had been opening and closing the drawer every few minutes for the last half hour. Twilight was reading herself to sleep, and once she was absorbed by a book, Twilight could read through anything, but the noise was getting on Spike's last nerve.
Over crying out loud.
Spike jumped out of bed and stomped to Quiz's room. She had left her door open.
Hey, Quiz, can you keep it down? It's bedtime, and I'm hoping to get back to last night's dream. It had cupcakes in it. Cupcakes.
What? Oh dear, said Quiz. It is quite loud. My apologies, Spike.
Well, what are you doing anyway?
Spike gasped.
Seriously, how many times do you need to test the drawer before you know it works?
I was trying to decide what to do with this. Quiz pointed to a framed photograph of her family. If I put it out where I can see them, it makes me homesick. If I hide the photo in my drawer, I feel better for a while, but the homesickness soon returns. If I take the photo back out again, it helps, but that is also temporary. I cannot decide which is better.
Well, just try to get some sleep, okay?
Spike couldn't think of anything else to say. Thank you, Spike. Good night.
Yeah, good night.
Spike turned to go. Then he called over his shoulder.
And, I think you'll probably be happier if you leave your picture out.
Spike wandered back to bed, muttering to himself about cupcakes. Quiz was walking to school the next morning when she heard an excited cry.
Look, it's new Filly! Scootaloo, stop!
A small scooter and cart screeched to a halt next to Quiz.
Hi,
called one of the fillies in the cart.
Are you Twilight's new helper?
Research assistant, corrected Quiz. Yes. You have heard of me?
Why, sure,
answered a second filly.
Every pony in town knows when there's some pony new in Ponyville. My name's Applebloom. I'm Sweetie Belle. Scootaloo.
They finished in unison.
We're the Cutie Mark Crusaders.
Well, hello, said Quiz, tentatively. My name is Quizzical.
That's...
began Scootaloo, who then changed her mind about what she was going to say.
An interesting name. Could we just call you Quiz?
Quiz is acceptable.
Would you like to ride to school, Quiz?
asked Sweetie Belle. I am not sure. Quiz paused to consider this. After a moment she tried again, with more certainty. Well, yes, actually. I believe I would enjoy riding with you. The girls helped Quiz into the cart, and Applebloom offered Quiz her helmet.
You take this, Quiz. My head's probably harder than yours.
Will I need that? asked Quiz, eyeing the helmet suspiciously.
Not if we're lucky,
answered Applebloom. Quiz swiftly put the helmet on.
Scootaloo, go easy,
called Sweetie Belle.
This is Quiz's first time. Oh, yeah?
Shot back Scootaloo.
Then you better tell her to hang on. Now you done it, Sweetie Belle,
said Applebloom.
Why do you have to say that to her? Now Scootaloo's going to give us all the works.
Should I be concerned? asked Quiz.
No, Quiz,
said Applebloom.
You should be scared.
And with a lurch, they were off. It seemed as if Scootaloo took them through every alley between the library and the school. Scootaloo was not a fan of gentle curves. The only turns she made were sharp right angles. Quiz was surprised to discover that some of the maneuvers were actually impossible. Apparently, physics and Scootaloo were not on speaking terms. It came as no small relief when Quiz was able to make out the schoolhouse. But there was one last obstacle between them and their destination. Is that Scootaloo's target? asked Quiz, pointing to a pair of boards resting against a large grate.
Most likely,
said Applebloom. Oh dear, said Quiz. Scootaloo, I do not believe the angle of that incline will place us on an advantageous trajectory.
Hey,
snapped Scootaloo.
Never tell me the angles.
They hit the ramp, soared into the air, landed with a thud, ground to a halt, pivoted 180 degrees on the front wheels of Scootaloo's scooter, and gently came to rest under a tree on the edge of the school's playground.
See,
declared Scootaloo.
Nothing to it.
Well, said Quiz, standing up in the bed of the wagon.
That was quite extraordinary.
She then fell out of the wagon and lay on the ground panting. Apple Bloom and Sweetie Belle then peered down at Quiz over the side of the wagon.
Are you okay, Quiz?
Asked Sweetie Belle.
Oh, yes,
Gasped Quiz, laying on her back, her hooves in the air.
I shall just rest here and recover.
Hey, what's the problem? Cried Scootaloo. Don't you like carts, Quiz?
Oh, no,
Said Quiz.
I find great merit in both carts and scooters. It is your driving that I find alarming, Scootaloo.
Good one, Scoot, chided Apple Bloom. Twilight has the new girl here for less than a day, and you already break her. Hey, it's just too bad that ramp wasn't canted a bit, stated Scootaloo. We could have done a barrel roll.
I assure you, I am not broken,
said Quiz.
but I do ask that I not be moved for a moment, or I shall become violently ill.
Apple Bloom and Sweetie Belle had cracked up and were all on their sides in the bed of the wagon. Soon, even Scootaloo joined them in laughter. Eventually, Sweetie Belle recovered enough to look down at Quiz. Before we laugh at you anymore, we should ask, she said. Quiz, do you know how funny you are?
No,
began Quiz.
Actually, yes, I was aware. I must make a note of this.
She magically drew her notebook and quill from her saddlebag and set them hovering over her nose. The quill scribbled furiously.
I have been amusing just myself with my observations for so long I had forgotten that anyone else might get the joke.
That's just wrong, Quiz, said Sweetie Belle. You should share jokes.
Of course, I shall make a note of that as well.
You're all right, Quiz, said Apple Bloom.
Am I? That is good to know.
School went uneventfully until recess. Quiz sat at the back of the room, never contributing, but she never really needed to. Whenever Charlie asked a question, there was always at least one filly with a hoof in the air. Usually it was Twist, the red-maned filly who sat in the front row right in front of Charlie's desk. Twist took such joy in answering the teacher's questions, it seemed wrong to interfere. Quiz observed everything, and she took copious notes. On the way out to the playground, Silver Spoon spoke to Diamond Tiara, just loudly enough for Quiz to hear. Did you see the way she watched everyone? Like, totally creepy. If this bothered Quiz, she did not show it. Twist approached Quiz on the playground. Hi, Quizzical. Can I ask you a question?
You may,
said Quiz.
Though I think perhaps you had best just call me Quiz.
Oh, good idea, said Twist. Anyway, I heard that your Cutie Mark is a credit card, because your family has money. At the mention of Cutie Marks, the Crusaders appeared out of nowhere. What's a credit card? Asked Scootaloo. Heard he says it's something new they're trying in Canterlot, said Sweetie Belle. It isn't catching on, because most ponies prefer to carry bits.
My mark is not a credit card,
said Quiz.
It is a Venn diagram.
Whose what's it now? Asked Apple Bloom.
It is a kind of graph,
explained Quiz.
The two circles represent sets of things. Where they overlap shows how those things relate to each other.
This was met with stony silence. It was interrupted by Scootaloo muttering under her breath, Birds of Equestria, you have a new queen. Hush, hissed Sweetie Belle. How did you get a mark like that, Quiz?
It is much as Scootaloo suggests,
said Quiz.
I got my cutie mark from being overly concerned with graphs.
What? Squealed Scootaloo. Sweetie Belle, Apple Bloom, and Twist were all glaring at her. I'm just glad it doesn't make you stuck up like Diamond Tiara, said Twist.
Oh, no,
said Quiz.
I am sure that arrogance is not one of my character flaws.
But what does it mean? Asked Apple Bloom. What's your special talent?
That is uncertain,
said Quiz.
Some cutie marks are specific, but most leave room for interpretation. I might become a researcher, or a statistician, or demographer, or I might become a professional student.
Ew, no thanks, exclaimed Scootaloo, making a face. Being a student forever? Yuck. But your mark does look pretty cool, Quiz. You're already a researcher, aren't you, Quiz? Asked Sweetie Belle.
Yes, but I do not know yet if I am any good at it.
Quiz, what's your favorite flavor? Asked Twist, suddenly.
I am partial to vanilla,
said Quiz. Figures, said Scootaloo. This got her more glares.
Why do you ask, Twist?
Oh, no reason, asked Twist, innocently. Don't mind her. She asked every pony, added Apple Bloom quickly. Twist has candy flavors on the brain. Yeah, Twist admitted. I really do. Quiz might have wanted to question them further, but she spied a young colt entering the playground.
I must excuse myself. I have something to do,
she said.
Excuse me,
said Quiz.
Is your name Pip?
Yes it is, miss, he answered. How can I be of service?
My name is Quizzical, and I am a friend of Princess Luna's,
said Quiz.
She told me that when I saw you I was to say hello and wish you well for her.
Princess Luna! Pip squealed with excitement. She's my favorite princess!
She is mine as well,
said Quiz.
Princess Luna is my mentor.
What's that, Miss Quizzical?
Princess Luna teaches me.
Can you do magic like Princess Luna? asked Pip, his eyes wide.
No, not like the princess, but I know a few tricks.
Quiz concentrated and summoned her magical blackboard.
I have a sister about your age. She tells me that she enjoys this one.
Quiz drew a crude ship and placed a stick-figure pony on its bow. She made what she hoped looked like a tricorn hat on the pony's head.
Princess Luna tells me that you like pirates.
Oh, I do, I really, really do, cried Pip, clapping his forehooves.
That is good, Pip. I prefer ninjas myself. They study very hard.
But pirates have more fun, insisted Pip.
That is probably true,
admitted Quiz. Pip giggled. You talk funny, Miss Quizzical.
Yes, I know. I am working on that.
Can you make the pirates fight ninjas?
I cannot make them move. However, if you put the ship close enough to the shore, the ninjas may swim out to it.
Quiz drew a shoreline, then added stick-figure ponies with snorkels in the water. She moved the pirate captain's leg and gave him a cutlass. Then, in a moment of inspiration, she added an eye patch. The artwork would have hardly made a kindergartner proud. If that bothered Quiz, she said nothing, and Pip was delighted.
Oh dear, I shall need more ninjas,
said Quiz,
for I face the brave Captain Pipsqueak.
Pip began to jump about, swinging an imaginary sword. Arr! He cried. Then the bell rang and recess was over. That was fun, exclaimed Pip. Thank you so much, Miss Quizzical. He lunged at Quiz and embraced her firmly around the neck.
Yes, well, you are welcome, Pip.
Quiz had no idea how to react. She tentatively reached out and patted Pip on the back. Then the colt broke the hug and scooted off to class. Goodbye, Miss Quizzical, he called.
Oh, my,
muttered Quiz.
Oh, my, my, my.
She needed to get to her notebook. She had much to make note of. The final bell rang and the school day ended. Goodbye, class, called Shirley. No homework tonight, but please, remember you have reports due at the end of the week. And Quiz, could you please stay after class for a bit? Quiz made her way to the teacher's desk.
What is it you need of me, Miss Shirley?
I guess I have to raise the same concern I've already expressed, Quiz, said Shirley. Well, I'm delighted to have you in my class. I'm honestly worried that I don't have anything that I can teach you.
Oh, no, I must disagree, Miss Shirley.
You could not tell it easily from her voice, but there was something in Quiz's eyes that told Shirley that her student was being very earnest.
I am studying you, Miss Shirley.
What? I beg your pardon, Quiz.
If I am to do research, at some point I must present my findings. I am ill suited to this task,
said Quiz.
But your methods, Miss Shirley, the way you conduct your class, the way you keep your students engaged, the way you maintain discipline, this is all a master class on the subject.
It is almost impossible for a magenta pony to blush, but Shirley managed. That's quite a compliment, Quiz.
Then you see why I must stay in your class?
Yes, but I still think we need to find more for you to do. I could arrange some student teaching. Quiz shuddered.
I do not think I am ready for that.
Yes, of course. We'll consider that again in the future. How about some one-on-one tutoring?
That might be within my skill set.
Good. Sweetie Belle has been having trouble in history. I'll see if we can set up a study date for the two of you after school tomorrow, said Shirley. But that's tomorrow. Tonight, please go home and relax. I'll see you in the morning.
Thank you, Miss Shirley, and good night.
Twilight Sparkle had come to walk Quiz home, and she overheard most of this. She shook Shirley aside while Quiz waited outside. Firstly, will we see you later tonight, Shirley? Asked Twilight. Oh, I wouldn't miss it. I just hope it doesn't get to be a bit too much. So do I, said Twilight. But I have to ask, isn't Sweetie Belle one of your best students? Wouldn't Scootaloo be a better candidate for tutoring? Oh, I plan to steer Quiz towards Scootaloo sometime, said Shirley.
But neither of them is ready for that yet. No, Sudibel's grades have slipped just a little bit in history. Most importantly, Sudibel has the best voice in Ponyville.
Twilight grinned broadly when Shirley's plan dawned on her.
There's one last thing,
said Shirley.
I saw Quiz doing this amazing thing for little Pip this afternoon. Could you tell me how she does it? I have learned many things today,
said Quiz, as she and Twilight walked home.
I actually understand less than half of it, but I am learning many things. I'm very pleased with your progress,
said Twilight.
I'm sure the princesses will be pleased as well. I may spend all evening just organizing and collating my notes,
said Quiz.
I am excited about that.
Yeah, well, Twilight trailed off.
Tonight might not be the best night for that. I do not understand, Miss Twilight,
said Quiz. They had arrived at the library, and Quiz reached for the door handle. As soon as she touched it, the door flew open, and she was almost knocked over by an escaping cloud of balloons and confetti.